Hello, everybody. Ryan here from HappyTrader.io. We are going to get right into our trade today. It is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, and we are connected with Tradeovate, which is a futures trading broker. We have no affiliation with them. I just prefer to use them because they integrate very easily with TradingView. You do not have to even integrate a broker. You can use your TradingView signals, but you can see we are flirting with our uptrend signal here. It's kind of deciding what wants to happen, but you can see we went on a huge rip here. So what we're going to do is just kind of walk through a live trade. And these are the NASDAQ E-mini futures. So this is not the full size NASDAQ, but it's still a large size. They call it the mini, but there's also the micros, which are 1/10 this size. And if we do take a trade, this is something that we will be going over. So, if you can hang tight for a minute here, we're just going to kind of demonstrate how this works. These uptrend and downtrend signals are going to be kind of like your super signals, so to speak. You can see that they're fairly reliable, even if you're just catching a scalp. If we kind of condense this chart, you can see that you do get your sell signals in the beginning of a trend reversal. You get your Illumatrend as a secondary, and then your big confirmation is going to be your uptrend or downtrend signal, and that's really where this differentiates from anything that you can just kind of buy. So what I like to do is wait for the uptrend to pop and just kind of let the market retrace a little bit. Let's try to get a good entry. We're never going to get a perfect one, but we are going to enter the trade. So we're going to go in and create new order. You can do this on any broker, even if you're paper trading. We're just going to buy, and you can see right on the screen, this is why I like TradingView and integrating, but you could use like Tradeovate on one device, TradingView on the other device. And we have our uptrend signal that kind of went away, came back, went away, came back. But we have our buy. And a lot of people think, oh, well, that's really risky because we've been, going up for quite, a few points here. But these uptrend signals, if you go back, especially on the NQ, are just they're really, really good signals. And this has been over a year in development, so this is our second launch, and you can see some of these uptrend and downtrend. Some of them are just scalps, right? But that's why we use risk protection. But you can see, you can just catch some of these amazing moves, and this is very, very cool stuff. So we're just going to let this one kind of ride out for a second. And this is just one single contract of the E-mini. Generally speaking, a question we get asked a lot: how much money do I need to trade one contract of the E-minis, whether it's the S&Ps or the NASDAQ? And generally, it depends on which broker you use, between $500 and $1,000 roughly, to be able to trade these larger contracts. Now, to trade the micros, which are only 1/10 this size, so we're up 120, 135. We'd only be up $13 if we were trading the micros, and those margins are a lot easier. So if you're someone who just wants to get in and dip your toes in and kind of see what you might be able to accomplish, you can just get into the micros. But we just want to show you a quick trade here. Now, so there's a few ways you can trade these. Let me kind of stretch out the chart. So when you're using Happy Trader Sentiment AI with Illumatrend, you're using something that's been developed and is far superior to anything free that you can get on Tradeovate. So what happens here is your buy signal is your first point, is that's going to tell you, hey, so like even though we had all these green bars here, we were still in a downtrend, right? So this tells you, hey, we have a criteria set that's saying we might actually reverse to an uptrend, despite the fact that the entire day, if you look here, has been pretty much down, right? So that's our first point. Then we get our green Illumatrend. We can see that we're kind of forming into an uptrend here, right? So we're like, okay, great, that's awesome. But we're still kind of like, well, we've kind of just been going up and up and up. And what's great about Happy Trader is that you don't really have to worry too much about that. When you get these super trend signals, you can decide, do you want to put a stop at break even? Do you want to just take profit? And or do you want to let it ride, right? Because a lot of times these signals can result in bigger moves, and you can see that we have what is it, $175, $185 profit there, and we'll just let this ride just a little bit longer. I know this is, the attention span these days is all for the shorts and the small stuff, the very short form videos, but I really like to go into showing you actual trades, and especially when we get these big uptrend signals, kind of how effective they are. So we originally launched this last year in 2022. And the problem with it was that you couldn't use it for any ticker. Now you can use this for every single ticker. I can go to Apple, so we can go to our stocks. Oh, I don't know why it's not letting me, but anyway, that's funny. So I probably have to refresh it. But what we'll do is close this out at a $290. Wow, it's really breaking out. We'll close it out before we get that red bar, and that's about a $280 profit. Now let me see what's going on with the other symbols. Sometimes it's just the fact that we need to refresh. And let's go into Apple. Oh, it's because we are on Trade Okay, so what we would want to do instead is just look at the indices. So you can go to the E-mini futures, and this is something that if you do not want to trade as volatile, you can still get excellent signals here on the S&P. And if you go ahead and stretch out the S&P, you can see nice signal there, really good signal there. The Nasdaq just tends to outmove the S&P 500 by a little bit. So that's something you have to just watch out for. But when you're not connected to a futures broker, let's say you connected Interactive Brokers, all you have to do is go up here. You can click stocks. You'll be able to type in Apple, Tesla. But because I'm connected to a futures broker, it's only going to let me bring up futures contracts. Like we can probably do, like, let's see, CL. Can we do /CL? Oh, we want to go to all crude oil futures we have here, so we can just bring that right up. And we have, let's just go to futures. Let's see if it gives us a list. Ah, there we go. So we can bring up the gold futures here. And look, you can see that for gold, some of these moves are just absolutely crazy, right? Now you have to remember that gold does move inversely with, not always, but a lot of times with the indexes. So just because the Nasdaq is up and the, like the Dow Jones is up, doesn't mean that all the futures are going to be up. But you can just get the list of the futures supported here. And let's see, do we have Bitcoin futures? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. And then we also have the micro ones too. So let's see what Bitcoin's up to. So we don't have Bitcoin. Let me just explain this real quick. So we had a little bit of a downtrend here. That move retraced. Bitcoin's extremely volatile. So there's a chance you probably would have got stopped out on this trade, but you can catch some of these really crazy uptrends. And it's funny, sometimes you won't get a super signal because crypto is so volatile and our data points don't always present the very best signals because of the volatility. But if you go out and you just kind of zoom out over time, you can really see the effectiveness. Look at this huge uptrend right here, all the way from, where was it? Looks like 30,000 all the way up. If you were to go from uptrend to downtrend, all the way up to 33,000. So if you were trading like Bitcoin futures, you would have done great on that trade. Now, if we go back to our futures list, you can see what else we have here. And that's why we developed for trading view, is because there's just so many different futures that you can trade, right? So you can even trade cattle. Like, let's go to cattle, something I never trade, but you can just see the volatility, right? Like some of these just trade so different. But what I prefer to trade, and you can see this downtrend here, and sure enough, it went down, right? So um, what I like to trade is the NQ, so the NASDAQ, and this is my preferred index because it tends to move the most. Now, if you were connected through, again, interactive brokers, or if you just like were using Robinhood on your phone and then taking trades, you know, using this and then like flipping back between the apps, you can set alerts. So you can actually take Sentiment AI with Illumatrend, you can add an alert, and then you can go ahead and set your buy signal, sell signal, Sentiment AI buy and sell. Those are your big super signals. And you can get those notifications either once per bar, once per minute. And then you can also do web hooks. That's a little more advanced. A notify in app. So that would be if you have the app on your phone and show a pop-up. This would be if you're more of a desktop trader, and then send an email if you're just on the go. You can check all of them and send email to SMS. So TradingView offers a fantastic platform. You're not going to have to necessarily upgrade if you don't want to. There are some perks if you want to go ad free, if you want to add data feeds, stuff like that. But in general, to trade like stocks using Tradeovate and using Happy Trader, that's going to be just the 47 per month. We are considering raising the price, and it's probably inevitable that we will. And you can see this uptrend signal continues, even though we're out of the trade. It does continue, and we did very well with that trade that we took. But I wanted to talk just a little bit more about Happy Trader. So it works for stocks, futures, indexes, cryptocurrencies, altcoins, pairs trading. So if you can bring up pairs on your actual, we're connected to Tradeovate, so we can't necessarily bring up pairs. But if you're connected to a broker, or if you just go to like paper trading within TradingView, and you bring up like USD, JPY, you can do Forex, and Happy Trader Sentiment AI with Illumatrend does work for those as well. So that's kind of exciting. The other cool thing is that you can start with just one share of stock. You can start with paper trading. So really low stakes until you get the hang of it, kind of like any game or any type of thing out there where you're brand new to it and you want to feel it out first, right? But you can see that the historic success rate of this indicator and these moves and the magnitude of these moves, delineated by three separate data points. So if you get a buy signal and then a quick uptrend signal, that's going to demonstrate amplitude. And then you already know that you're in an uptrend, because not only did you have the buy signal, you also have that green Illumatrend. So that's great. And then you have your uptrend signal, which is a confirmation. Whereas anything that's like freely available on TradingView is not going to have the kind of sophisticated data that's in these uptrend and downtrend signals. There's no other indicator that would come close, and if it was, it would not be free. And this is probably as close as we get for a publicly retail available indicator. So it looks like we're getting our down wick here. This will likely get bought up, and we'll just hang here for a couple seconds and see what happens with it. Let's see if we end up going back up. And what else can let's actually just kind of flip around here. So you can do on TradingView, you're able to trade Forex, crypto, indices, bonds even if you're a bonds trader. Some people love it. Some people trade like natural gas. Like we can go to in the futures. Let's see if we can type gas. Yeah, we can see like we can see the E-mini natural gas, so the QG. Let's take a look there. Look at that. Pretty neat, right? So on days where you just get a buy signal or a sell signal, this would indicate a potential trend reversal. But until you get this uptrend or downtrend signal, when you get the downtrend signal, you're at least going to be able to take a scalp. When you get the uptrend signal, make sure you know the correlations between some of these, indexes versus the stock market versus the bonds. Do a little bit of research there. And then, of course, always make sure you paper trade. But you can see why we chose the platform that we chose, because it's just absolutely wonderful for pretty much everything futures wise and everything stock and crypto wise. So we will go to the Bitcoin futures. The other thing you can do while we're kind of waiting there is you can go out to macro time frames. So if you're more of a swing trader, it automatically adjusts. So this is really, really, really cool. So let's say we're on the 1 hour chart. This is a really, really crazy, you know, big time move here, right, for Bitcoin. So we had our buy signal all the way back on the 15th. We had a quick uptrend signal. Now, we had a sell signal here you could have covered, but you would have done well, right? Now, if you would have held Or if you put it, let's say that, the market went up here, sell came here, you're like, oh, I'm gonna put a stop at break even, right? Worst case scenario, I break even, not losing, right? So, your stop it wouldn't have come close to your stop and it would have just blasted off, right? So, that's what's great about this. We'll switch over to another, let's go back to let's do like the S&P 500. I'm trying to figure out what people might want to trade. Most people, like, they start with like the ES, which is the you can see it up here, ES1, which is the E-mini. A lot of folks start with the micros, and it just depends on your flavor, right? What you're looking to trade. Now, you're not going to get as prominent of signals on the S&P. The S&P moves slower than the Nasdaq, and that's just kind of the way that goes. But you can see if we go out, um, to the hour chart, you can see this just massive downtrend. So you would have made, just taking some of these uptrend and downtrends, you just do great, right? So now if we zoom back in to the intraday 5 minute, you can see that we hit our uptrend. And it looks like today is one of those weird days where the price went down a little bit, but the market internals were going up. So, under the hood of the market, there was buying activity happening, kind of like a buy the dip type of scenario happening there. So, that's kind of what you're getting. You have this uptrend signal, just kind of like slowly retracing, but just climbing up ever so slowly. And then we have, if we start breaking out of these levels, things might get crazy, right? We might have a breakout heading into the holiday. But again, this is just today's trade and a little brief overview on Happy Trader. It's available for $47 per month. Price probably going up soon, and people are enjoying it, and it does well for all these tickers. And you can go ahead and lock in that price for life if you get in soon. 47 a month, and your price will never go up. So we're targeting around 140 a month is generally what our competitors charge. We feel that we have a superior product to our competitors, with all due respect. And we've put this is our second launch, like I have mentioned. So your ability to paper trade this or trade with just stock crypto, even one share of Apple, one share of whatever, or just the micro futures will be great for you. So again, this is Ryan, CEO Head Quant here at Happy Trader, and I am signing off. Have a great day. Consider subscribing. Happy trading.